Hello, children. We are going to learn the chapter number second of English literature, The Cherry Tree. The Cherry Tree is a story written by Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond is an Indian author of British descent. He has cultivated many forms of English literature. Let's see the summary of The Cherry Tree. The story of Cherry Tree by Ruskin Bond revolves around the concept of duty, responsibility, and pride. It has narration in third person. The content of the story: first, the seed, the twig, the plant, the flowers, and journey of the seed reach at fruits. Now let's see the journey from seed to fruits. Rakesh, the protagonist, digs the ground with a spade and plants a seed of cherry trees in his grandfather's garden in Missouri. The plant is in the corner of the garden, protected from wind and snow. However, soon Rakesh forgets about the seed and gets busy listening to his grandfather's stories and reading newspaper for his grandfather. The seed turns into twig. Let's see the twig. Meanwhile, the seed continues to grow. The winter passes and the spring arrives. One day, Rakesh is observing the bird when he suddenly notices the plant which has grown into a twig with one or two leaves. He realized the cherry that he had planted years ago. He forgot about the seed, but now the seed has turned into twig. Rakesh shows his grandfather the cherry twig. Grandfather advises Rakesh to take care of the plant now and water it. Rakesh also circles the plant with some pebbles for protection. Now twig turns into plant. Now the plant, the monsoon season approaches and the cherry plant grows faster and it makes Rakesh excited. The following summer, Rakesh goes home to his parents. He went to parents in order to spend a little time there. He works on his farm and helps his parents in sowing and planting the crops. By the end of the monsoon, he is back with his grandfather. He has grown up, and so has his charity. It has come up to his chest. Rakesh is getting more attached to his tree now and water it every day. Once Rakesh witnesses, saw an insect on the tree, but it doesn't try and swat it away as he considered it the tree's first friend. Next, he sees a hairy caterpillar feeding on the leaves of the tree. Rakesh hauls it and places it on some of the leaves to protect the cherry leaves. When winter arrives, plant bulges under the weight of the falling snow. It snows so much that the road from the valley gets covered with snow for several days. Grandfather grows frustrated as he could not get his newspaper as the roads are blocked. Finally, his story was not told to the boy. Now plant brings flowers. Rakesh turns 9 in February and the charity turns 4 years. It almost reaches up to his head now. One day, his grandfather sees some pink flowers on the cherry tree. For Rakesh, it is nothing short of a miracle. The next morning, the next spring, there are more flowers. Birds and bees start drinking its nectar, and the trees grow taller than him. Soon Rakesh turns 10 and the cherry turns 12. Rakesh starts enjoying books along with his grandfather's stories. There are more birds on the cherry tree and more flowers. Now flower brings the fruits. Journey start from the seed and now it has reached to the fruits. Finally, the next summer bring the first fruits. But when Rakesh tastes it, it was sour instead of sweet. Grandfather consoles Rakesh and tells him that the cherries would develop into tastier fruit the following year. One evening, Rakesh asks his grandfather about the thing that made the tree. His grandfather replied that the effort they put into nature and plant made it special. Rakesh admires the bark and the leaves of his cherry tree, his own creation. Rakesh was so hypnotized by it that he considered it to be the manifestation of God. He imagines that it was what God must feel about his creation. The cherry tree is a symbol of survival and it escapes almost eaten by God and being cut with the grass. Just as human beings struggle in life, so too does the cherry tree. We have to pass through obstacles the same way the charity has also to pass through this kind of obstacles. But the charity shows resilience and the ability to withstand diverse conditions. The bond between Rakesh and the trees of care and nurture, just like a family who is caring for each other. He never abandons his tree even when the conditions become tough, which highlights the dedication it takes to develop strong and binding relationship of affection and compassion. Rakesh is a guardian of the charity. He fulfills his responsibility, and in the end, he is rewarded for his efforts. He sows the seed and he gets the fruit. The cherry seed matures into a fruit bearing tree, just like the children grow into adulthood and look after their parents in old age. Furthermore, Rakesh's grandfather fulfills his responsibility towards Rakesh in advising him about living a healthy life. So, this is the journey of seed from seed to the fruits. This is the summary of the story.